You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? I have a request I'm somewhat sympathetic with, and then at the same time not, because it's like, quit being a bitch and get your shit together. Knock it off. I'm sick of this. But then at the same time, I'm like, yeah, actually, I could kind of understand because you probably didn't know. Hey, Cappy, hopefully I catch you in a good mood. Almost 30 years old, 5'11", 170 pounds. That's good shape. Truck driver, owner, operator, putting around 70,000 a year into my pocket. Awesome. Only debt is what I still owe on the truck at around 30,000. Nice. Something like 50,000 in a Roth IRA. A full year emergency fund, including the truck payments. I like cars and motorcycles, so that's where the rest of my money gets burned. I live in the truck. Rest of my shit is at my parents' house. Our house is divorced, of course. Of course. Fucking boomers can't keep it together. Let me point out something right now. I'm way out of focus. This is throwing me off my OCD, which I don't have. There we go. I'm more centered now. You would not have this if you had women in your life. I'm just pointing that out. Your excellent finances would not exist. So I know you may, I wasted my time. You would have wasted your time anyway in your 20s, and you would have had a lot less money. In other words, we'll get to it later. You were overweight, and in a certain way, this being overweight was a blessing because you just weren't going to waste your time on chicks. It surprised everybody. Ask any guy who's been divorced, like, yeah, all of a sudden the money started adding up. The pursuit of girls, especially if you're married, you spend so much money. You spend so much money on, or you guys, plural, spend so much money that if they're not there and you're not chasing girls, it starts adding up. And it's a perfect example here. You're not even 30 and you're in better shape than most people are facing retirement right now. That's great and all, but my entire life I never had a girlfriend or significant other. Never been on a date, never been kissed. All right, already right here, this is where you're being a bitch. You were afraid, you were weak, you were lazy. That's still part of your core. Now, everyone's lazy to a certain extent. It's part of how we survived in the past. But let's just admit it. You are a cowardly little bitch. You didn't ask out girls. Maybe intelligently so. There was a bit of intelligence, like, because I'm going to assume you were fat because you were lazy. You didn't want to put in the work to be an attractive man back then. But that weakness, that laziness, that cowardice is still there. You've never been on a date. And let me think. Never been on a date, never been kissed. Yeah, you're a bitch. This attitude, and this is the main thesis, which we might as well introduce right now. Being fat is one thing. It's just one thing. And you've lost the weight. However, the mentality that you still carry over, it's not even the mentality of being fat. It's the mentality that got you into being fat, which is you are lazy and you're afraid. You're afraid of work. You're afraid of pain. You're afraid of rejection, which, yeah, everyone should be. But the way to success, no matter whether it's finances or physical health or whatever, and especially the women, is through pain. And you are such a coward and a weakling at a core level that you couldn't even ask girls out. You couldn't, and at a certain point, you were smart enough not to. All right. Where you're like, no, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm too nerdy, whatever, to go and ask a girl out and have success. But there had to be a time, unless you were fat at birth. Like when you turned 13, you should have been awkwardly asking out girls. I'm going to bet you didn't. You should have like danced with a girl in the 8th grade dance or something and maybe put your hand on her butt. Oh, horror now, though. Maybe at your age you would have landed in jail and had your heads cut off. There should have been a kiss in here somewhere. There should have been one date. You didn't even do that. That's a you problem. I don't care how bad women are today. I don't care how much you're all on the internet. There should have been a kiss in there somewhere in your 30 years of life. And so what I'm going to say, and this is what I say generally about fat men in particular, is the personal character flaws that led you being fat are still there. Laziness, cowardice, fear. And now now you're in an interesting situation, a more difficult situation for you, Dane, because you're a truck driver. But that is somehow still holding you back. Like, did you ask out a girl? Have you seen? I know you've asked girls out online, probably. Did you ask out a girl in person? I'm not an advocate of this, and I'm sure with your schedule it's a little bit difficult. But is there a speed dating? And what efforts have you put in to meet girls in person? Probably none. And I'm going to say you don't have an uphill battle being a truck driver. Absolutely not. Especially given today's women, especially given how like no one wants to date each other. Women are generally not interested. You do not have you have a very high paying good job, and it looks like you're a owner operator, which is awesome. If you're paying off your own truck, you're doing great there, but they don't give a shit about that. It is tremendously difficult for in shape normal guys to go get the girls today, but it's even more so for you with truck driving as your career. But which only emphasizes more the importance of you getting over the character flaws that led you to be fat, but now you're thin or certainly in shape, that are also now going to hold you back. You need to, no fear, man, no fear. I don't care how painful rejection is, how tired you are. I'd imagine you're driving all around. You don't want to go to a speed dating event. Too bad. I would also say if it's possible to like schedule some time when you get back home. You're not driving, you got access to a car, you're not sleeping in your cab. Have like 2 weeks off, man. Say, hey, you go on some speed dating. So at minimum, then when you will get rejected. But if you did get rejected, you're not like, oh, I didn't lift all the rod. You need to go out there and ask. Do you go to a grocery store? Do you see anyone? I know it's all truck stops. I'm sure the quality and caliber of women, I know what I'm looking at. What have you done? How many girls have you asked out in person? That's great and all, but my entire life I've never had a girlfriend. Blah, 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 blah. Only 2 friends and one disappeared after high school. Yeah, see, you're a social recluse too. You got to get out. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of. I don't give a shit. And if you don't become socialized, if you don't start getting out there in the real world, you're going to be not a social recluse. You are not going to have the social mannerisms and traits that people are like, oh, I unconsciously even like, oh yeah, that's a normal guy. I can trust him. Not that you're untrustworthy. Just go, why is he acting weird? You didn't have friends? How lazy are you, man? How lazy are you? You didn't even have friends. All during my high school years, I got nothing but rejection from the girls in my class, which was a small town. So by high school, everybody paired up and I was the odd one out. Half got pregnant senior year shortly thereafter. Once again, your obesity saved you there too. Decided to just go straight to work out of high school. Further education, waste of time and money. I've been a mechanic, carpenter, and a welder. Outstanding. Now doing my childhood dream job of driving a truck over the road. But as time goes on, I've gotten more involved in online dating as any real world attempts were shot down as usual. But after 10 plus years of trying to find anybody, sending thousands of messages, hearts and kisses, for whatever the farthest I've gone was maybe 2 messages back and forth, either ended with them ghosting or, oh, you're a truck driver, you. So what does that tell you? How much time did you waste on that? Don't do online dating. You absolutely do not do online dating. Absolutely not. So after a decade / my entire fucking life of being rejected, I've grown jaded and bitter. I could see that. But how much effort did you put into yourself? Girls I would have asked out, I now remind myself and don't bother, as I know damn well it's how it's going to happen. Rejection. Right. With that attitude, it will. Yes. I've even opened up having a boyfriend, as I've had bisexual gay attractions for as long as I can remember, in the closet until about 5 years or so ago. But the only guys on dating sites that like me look like John Goodman in the 90s. What do you look like? And after getting up to 270 pounds myself, after I got my CDL, I was 155 when I started driving 8 years ago, and losing that weight gain. I don't want to be someone that's lazy and clearly doesn't want to better themselves. As I will lose motivation myself. Good. It's easy to lose weight, but hard to stay motivated when this imaginary other clearly would rather hit the pizza shop than the gym. I've worked damn hard for what I've attained. I'd rather be with someone that can keep us both in line. Nobody really is sexually attracted to fat. I lost the weight. Here's where everyone pay attention. This is admirable. I lost weight because I thought it hypocritical to be fat myself, but not to be attracted to it. I wouldn't fuck me, so why would they? Exactly. And if you're not a fun person to hang out with, why should someone hang out with you? And if you're not asking them out, why would they go on a date with you? I understand the rejection, dude. I get it. So first, stop with the online dating. Just knock that off. But you can't. I'm not getting any balls in the hoop. Oh, you're damn sure guaranteed to never get any balls in the hoop if you stop shooting the ball. I'm currently in the best shape strength-wise of my life. Still would like to get down to vaguely visible abs again, but long hours bouncing these interstates makes that difficult, but I'm on my way. There you go. Superior performance results in superior results. And dude, if you get abs as a truck driver, even Alex Patino, I don't think has abs. Then once you get that, you're doing the first thing. Step one, be attractive. So don't bother. Maybe if you get attractive enough, then maybe try the online dating again. But you're gonna then, once you get in shape, then you're also gonna have to put in the same effort to getting girls or guys. I don't care, whichever one you want. I just want someone to share life with. Companionship and bedroom fun would be nice, but I'm starting to think that doesn't actually exist. Well, link below is called The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. Another fourth, fifth thing, yes, women are not that interested in men, even less so today because of the warping effects of online dating and social media. I'm not saying you're going to have great success. I'm not. I'm just if you want this, there's a tremendous amount of work you got to do. And you're doing the hardest stuff first, which was losing weight and getting in shape. But then there's also just facing down rejection, asking girls out in person, getting creative, putting in the same amount of time and effort, given your handicap that you're a truck driver. And obviously, you don't have that great of a social life. I'm not a truck driver, but I got to imagine truck drivers have some strategies or techniques. Like, yeah, I would almost, because if it's this important to you and you're reaching out to me, because it probably is, you got to take like a month off and just go date. There's I wish there was, oh, yeah, you press the blue button. Oh, there's the girl. Oh, all I had to do was press the blue button. So your desire to have someone to share life with and companionship, yeah, that's pretty much everybody, but not, it's everybody today, but too bad you were born in this era. And most girls are just not interested. If you don't believe me, please go get the Book of Numbers and read through that. It's linked below so you know. I have one friend that still talks to me every once in a while. We met when we were 9 or 10, and his girlfriend, they had a kid, and it's a disaster. We've heard time and time again. See, are you really missing out? You're really missing out. You came from some small hick town. You became a truck driver. Everyone else got pregnant, and now you got money and they don't. Another thing is, by the time you're 40, you're going to be in pretty good financial shape. Then all the girls are going to come out. They may not be the ones you want, but a lot of this is just also your age. Most girls are not. They're not into dating or getting married and settling down in their 20s. They're just not. I know you want the girls, but look at everyone from your high school and your peer group that chased the girls, and then got the girls, and where are they now? You're the one with the positive net worth and about to have your semi trailer paid off. Try to set me up with her best friend who is also perpetually single, but she too could stand to lose 150 pounds. Yeah, fat people dating problems. Am I right? Rule 1, become attractive. And she's an elementary school teacher with gobs of student loan debt and face piercings and color hair. No. Honestly, find a guy, man. Find a guy. No, just no. Even for a fat chick, she has no ass. Meh. So why is it that I only seem to attract lazy fat fucks? Okay, first, that's the majority of people. Right? So that's not a you problem. That's your pool. Why do I keep catching carp in the sewer? Well, because you're fishing in a sewer. Again, please go get the Book of Numbers. Something like 2.7% of women are marriageable. Doesn't mean they're bad. It's just being conducive to long-term healthy relationships. Only 2.7% of women have the qualities and standards to do that. So that's not you. That's where you're fishing. But there is also you, which again, I think you got a pretty good grasp on what you got to do. And anyone that I believe to be in my league, a point up or down won't give me the light of day, the time of day. And yes, that is true. Go watch Fresh and Fit. Go read about the warping effects of online dating having an effect on women's expectations of men. You may, I'm being serious about this. It may just be in your best interest to just plug away at work for the next 10 years, save up all the money you need, and go overseas and become a passport bro. With logical, not idealistic goggles on. You have to be a good man. You're going to have to be charming and charismatic overseas, but at least the women overseas, generally, depending where you go, are more traditional and conducive to marriage, a traditional relationship. This has nothing to do with your career or your weight or your past or your cowardice or your fear. This has to do with the culture we live in today in the United States and other cultures that tend to be more traditional. There's very few, if any, countries that are less traditional than the United States. And I also understand, look, you put in the effort, you're down to 170 pounds, 5'11. That's about right. You're in pretty good shape. But the 6s, 7s, and 8s that you linearly are, those girls are not interested in you. Go watch some Whole Math. He'll break it down even more so. But that's a fact. You don't deal that either. Not only they're only carp in the sewer, but they're arrogant carp. So since you don't control that, you're going to have to go fishing in a different pond. But you're not there yet because you're a truck driver. Maybe you take a month off and go overseas. A little bit of travel money or something like that. I'm starting to think they just sense the fact I've never been with anyone and has the opposite effect as someone that's been with a lot. Yes, they could smell it on you because you got that stench. You got that uber nerd. What do they call it? Omega? Is it Omega? There was not a Sigma male. What's the Omega? Was it Omega? Gamma male, I think is, you just, oh my God, knock that shit off, motherfucker. I don't care if you got to take dance classes and get comfortable talking to people. Knock that fucking shit off. That's how you got fat in the first place. We never kissed a girl. There's a type, and you're that type. Stop being that type. I always thought getting punched in the face, like sparring martial arts, that would kind of break that. I got a stutter. Stop it. There's a great Bob New Hope thing. Well, just stop it. Well, I have some emotional feelings. No. We don't do that here. Just stop it. Just stop it. Because here's the thing, buddy. You put in all this work and you don't have a lot of free time, right? So when you do go out and try and meet girls in person, if you still have that overhang of stench, like, well, may I hold your hand? Whatever that fuck that is, however that comes through your body, which I don't know. I don't see any action, man. Your precious few moments of free time that you have to actually chase women are going to be completely wasted. And I think you should be asking girls out just to get rejected so you get used to it. Another guy you might want to, you wouldn't be able to go take a course or go into the field with him, but maybe consume some books or some of his material would be Troy Francis, where you just learn to talk. It's just so you know, it's not a science. You go up and you talk to women and you get shut down. Then you get better. And you go up and you talk to women and you get shot down. And then you get better. You go up, you talk to a girl. She kind of laughs a little bit, but you still get shot down. And you go back and you try it again. And you talk to another girl. And then this one like really giggled at you and gave you a number. And then soon, after a while, you just get better at it. Without having to read a flow chart or thinking there's a formula. AKA all these other girls like him. I want to try, but backwards. Yes, it's not all for a lack of trying. It's just insane to keep asking people out only to get rejected every time. And the ones that do give me some attention are complete swamp trolls. Kind of naughty you. See, you are, I should be a little bit more fair to you. It sounds like you are putting in some effort, but I don't know. It's also probably you're a truck driver and there's not a lot of hot chicks along the interstates. And there's, again, the United States is a sewer. You're fishing in the sewer. There's better parts of the sewer than not. But again, you got to know what is you and what is them. And this is a them problem. You know, you're driving through Wyoming or Nebraska. Fuck, you're not going to find any good looking women out there. I'd rather be single at that point. Be single. Enjoy it. Relax. Have you thought just doing what you want to do and not worrying about other people? You know, what do you just take a break, man? I agree with you. Like, why ask? I would ask girls out for practice sake, but with no expectations. But you know, what's wrong with just making money? With your spare time, go over and travel, or your spare time taking a dance class. Don't worry about the girls. Just if you see a cute girl, ask her out. If not, you got shit doing. going on, like making money driving your truck. I'm fine with a few extra pounds, but when the joke, when she sits around the house, she sits around the house is appropriate. Why bother? I have read the Book of Numbers. Good. And the odds you have come up with, I believe, are overestimated. Yeah, it could be, but we agree they're low. Also read The Rational Male, and while it helps some answering questions, I'm just sitting here. Yep. I ask what I'm telling you to do sounds contradictory, but it's not when you consider the goals. I want you to ask girls out in person with really no expectations they're going to go out with you. That is to get you over the rejection and to get you to be, through natural trial and error, more charismatic, to get that stench off. Right? That's what I want you to do. I also, however, want you to focus on other things that are productive with your time so that you become a better man, which you're well on your way to doing. And then when the time comes and the girl says yes, like kind of shocked a little bit, you're a quality guy that you might be interested. And to be perfectly honest, you are a quality guy. You're buck 75, 11. Okay, cool. You got a great job. You are a quality man. You just don't have a sexy job. I just don't want some fat, lippy liberal. That's the majority of them at your age. Again, not a you problem. And as far as I can tell, women aren't worth it anyway. Not a you problem. Me Too is also a great deterrent. I don't want to go broke for having talked to the wrong woman. How does that work if you're as long as you're not talking to women at the clients that you go to, you should be all right. I mean, you can ask girls out at a truck stop. Ugh. I asked a girl out at a truck stop. That never starts. That's not going to end well. So I guess I'm gay then, but I don't want some California Tesla driving flaming gay man either. I can't win. I'm just starting to think it's not worth bothering anymore. People are clearly not interested in the few that are clearly don't care about themselves enough to put down the fork. So why should I keep trying? Not against it. You should keep trying so you get better at it. And only ask girls that you're physically attracted out. Fully expect to get shot down. Then you get better at it. And then that fat man nerd never kissed a girl stench goes away. But yeah, right. In terms of where your expectations are, yeah, give up on it. Don't worry about it. You got other things to do. I think as time goes on, you're going to do better as the women of your age, dating your age, enter into their later 20s. It also sounds like you're in Wyoming or something. Like there's so many fat chicks. I'm like, this sounds a lot like Wyoming. And I've been alone in this truck for so long, I'm not sure I could get along with someone anyway, let alone the stories I've heard many times of truckers' wives found cheating on him while he was out on the road. Again, be thankful you were fat in some regards. Be thankful you're a truck driver. It could be something as simple as you truck drive for a while and then you save up your money, and then when you find a gal, you quit because it's not conducive to a family. It could be that. I'm sure Alex Patino might have some opinions. I think he got married before he became a truck driver, though. Putting food on her table and a roof over her head, also losing the kids, cash and prizes meant. Charge whatever you feel appropriate. You've helped me in many ways. I would like to repay that without giving a percentage to Google. Video response preferred, as I'm sure someone else out there might be in a similar situation. Yeah, if any of you truck drivers are out there, you want to give this guy some advice. I just tackled his attitude and mentality, the holdover attitude and mentality. And there's still details, but they probably can be assumed. Let me know if you need more with anonymity. Reason what's in here, I believe, is fair game. Thanks. Well, there you go. Hope that helps. Oh, yeah. You're focusing way too much on other people, men or women, whoever you want to date, and be thankful. If you're bi, you've doubled your dating pool. But it really helps, especially you read the Book of Numbers, what's in your control and what's not. Your quality women is not. The age in your generation is not. And women your age are not really all that interested in settling down. Even your career is not in your control. I mean, it is like you could change careers if you want, but you're a truck driver, you make good money. Girls like, oh, gross, whatever. Okay, fine. And then I'm trying to figure out where you live, but culturally, wherever you are environmentally, that's also not in your control. What is in your control is what you do with your free time, your schedule, I presume. Sounds like you're self-employed. And then how many girls you ask out. That's in your control. And also your expectations. So manage your expectations. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to happen today. Maybe you just need a break from truck driving. You've been doing it for a while. Why don't you take a good month break? Go do some speed dating. I would also put things in perspective. I get to it. You would not be this successful financially if you had a wife. If you were chasing girls and having success with women, you would not be in this position financially. You just wouldn't. And I'd also look forward into the future, not in like a hope sense, but look at the trajectory you're on and look at all the women that are like, even the popular ones from high school. What are they doing now? It's like, what, 10 years from now? At 10 years from then? They're pretty much losers, I'm going to guess. Everyone who, I don't know, captain of the football team at, you know, a division triple F high school. And you said they all got pregnant. Just think it's Wyoming. You said half the women got pregnant. I'm like, is that Wyoming? You don't realize how far ahead of everyone else you are because you're in a cab all the time, but you're not doing bad. And I would seriously evaluate going overseas. Not today, not tomorrow, but maybe take some time off and check out some other cultures. Maybe just take some time off and go travel to a different town. It just sounds like you're going from Walmart to truck stop to Aldi's to Casper, Wyoming. And so I would try the best you can to get to the best parts of the sewer in the United States that you're fishing in. Give your shot there. All right. Preamble, 5 Australian. Hey, Cappy, have a small fraction of a cigar. Thank you. And then Gnome saying, $5. I'm a truck driver. All I can say, man, is that if you don't have goals out here, personal goals, then you're going to go crazy. Another thing is get a pet. There you go. I think this is good. I think he should. No, I don't know anything about truck driving, but could he get like an electric bike or something? Like you get into town and find out where there's like a hootenanny, find out where's some country dancing, find out anything like where the local bar just to get because you can't just be around your truck the entire time. I gotta admit, is there a way to have another mode of transportation that you bring along with you that allows you to get into town? I think an electric bike might be good. Like if you could just haul an electric bike with them, obviously it can't be wintertime. But then you get into town, you get to the next town over or something. I think that might be good. All right. Link below. What is link below? The book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. You already read it, so there you go. The menu, life without the opposite sex. I think this gets more to what you're talking about, Noam. You need personal goals. You need to look at your life outside of the context of the opposite sex. Like, what am I as a person? You can't just be, hey, suck pee now. Good man I am. Doesn't work. You got to have your own life. And then also achieving minimalism theory and practice, which isn't germane to this topic we're talking here. But the course is open. Today's the last day it's open. It's been open all March. So if you're looking to take that, that is open. That's also linked below. But if you want to find that online, you just search Teachable, Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. Oh, we got a new guy, Muhammad Thomas, new guy. 10 generous dollars. Cappy, met you at the first CME. Oh, yeah, you guys. I remember, yeah, all the cops are sitting at the same table. Yeah, Conference Masculine Excellence Detective, New Jersey, 2019. Retiring to Thailand in a month, thanks to CMA, fresh and fit, Bachelor Pad Economics. 5 good years changed my life. Wow, was that in 20? Is it that long ago? God almighty, was that 4 years ago? 5. Holy shit. That just seems like 2 years ago. Working on my physical fitness now. That's awesome. I got a buddy, he retired Milwaukee cop, and he joined the cadets at 18 and retired at like 39 or something. And me and all my other buddies were like, how the fuck? He's just this young kid, And he retired too early. He had to go back, so he's still working like part-time cop, part-time security, and everything. Like you retire at 39. But that's great, man. Yeah, I hope you have a good time in Thailand. Maybe you find the girls out there. But good luck. All right, that's it. Links to everything down below. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.